Hi everyone, it's Beverly from the Piece by Piece, and I just wanted to share with you guys this project I created. It's using one of those embroidery hoops, and I got this idea, and the tutorial is right on Tiffany's channel, which is called Mama Tiffy on YouTube. And so she basically teaches you how she puts her embroidery hoop layouts together. And so I decided to make my first attempt, and I got this embroidery hoop at like a thrift store probably a few months ago, and I just put it aside and never really went back to it. So finally got to use this one, and this is going out to a friend. I made this wall frame for her to hang on her wall in her craft room. And basically the paper line that I used for both the frame and also for the card was the Crafty Secrets. It's called the Classic Paper Designs. And I got this a while back at the Scrapbook Expo, so I'm not even sure if it's available any longer. But this is the paper pad that I use, and it's double-sided. Just really quickly to show you what's inside. There's a lot of like background colors and design, so this is great, perfect for this, what I intended to use it for. So what I did was I gessoed on the embroidery hoop as well as the papers underneath, and as you can see there's two different paper lines, two different paper patterns that I used here, designs. So, and then I just gessoed it, and then what I did was, after I glued it down, I used burlap, and this is the white burlap that you could probably get at your local craft store, or in this case, I got this at Walmart in the fabric area. And then also what I did here is I took one of these vintage linens, cut it into a heart, and then what I did was I used Distress Stain Vintage Photo, daubed it on here, and then after I was done, I sprayed it with water to kind of spread it out a little further with the and make it lighter. And then I dried it with my heating tool, and then after that I added, let me get that thing, this to it, which is the stiffen stuff. It's for fabric or laces or trims. So I used this to make the linen stiff, and so it would be flat and even and easier to manage when I made this. So after that I glued it on top of the burlap. I like the look of texture and the different kinds of elements and decorations, and as well as like layouts and such. So layered those, and then I added some trim right here from my stash. And then this J right here, I just basically drew it out, freehanded that, and then did some fussy cutting. And then after I was done, what I did was I used thin chipboard, and then I gessoed the J, and then I painted it with this mocha color. And then after I was done, I just stamped it with StazOn brown ink. And just let me go ahead and get that. And then I use this acrylic stamp right here. Not sure what brand this is, but you could use any like Flourish or anything like that. So that's what I used there. And then I used some I Am Roses right here, and then some of the Prima Butterflies. And then I added some trim right here as well. Just hot glued it to the back like this so that it would just be like hanging on her wall, and it's a little elastic right there. So I hope she likes it. This is going out to a friend on YouTube. Her birthday just passed, and I wanted to make sure I made this for her. And then also, this is my first time using the embroidery hoop, and for some reason when I was gluing the paper down and setting it up and everything, I forgot about this little piece right here that keeps the hoop closed. So it kind of ended up at the top when I really wanted it here on the bottom or hidden somewhere here. So I kind of lost my train of thought on where this should have been. So just an FYI, when you're doing this, and with this card that I made for her, I did some like 3 layers of paper here and did lots of layering with some laces to kind of give it more texture and dimension. I used Vintage Photo Distress ink and the distressing tool for the edges as well. And then before I glued down any of the pages, I made sure I applied stitching to the edges, as well as all 3 papers, this one and that one. So all of them have the stitching. And then I distressed every single one of these layers with the Vintage Photo as well. And this is also using the same paper line from Crafty Secrets. And then what I did was, after laying the papers, and I didn't want them to be all straight, so I did them in like teeter-tattered form, diagonal and such. And then I took my trims and then I just placed them randomly throughout the card, because I thought that effect would look turned out really nice. And then again, I got this piece of fabric right here. It's one of those crocheted fabrics, and I got it at the thrift store, and it's really dainty and soft. And what I did was I applied this to it. I added this and then dried it up, and then I ironed it. What I did was I took the freezer paper, put the fabric on top, and then freezer paper again, and then ironed after it. I flattened it with the iron, I just laid it out to dry. And then I layered one of my fabric flowers, metal flower here, and one of my vintage buttons. And then I added some bling to the sides right here, and then also to the bottom. And then this was just a happy birthday stamp, and then I just put it right on top of this banner looking. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.